The little lion cub Alakai was playing with his father Zuba, who was trying to teach him how to fight. Dad was the alpha lion of the pack, and his son, when he grew up, should also become one, because he had a special spot on his paw, which showed which clan he belonged to. Suddenly Makung appeared, who again wanted to challenge Zuba to a duel, because he wanted to become the leader. Dad finally agreed while Alakai played with the butterfly. Suddenly he noticed some rope and ran after it, and Zuba defeated Makunga. Alex was captured by poachers. When the leader noticed that his son was missing, he immediately went after the car and tried to rescue Alakai, but he was shot, and the box with the lion cub fell into the river and arrived in New York. People found him and brought him to the zoo, where Alakai could be himself while dancing. They named him Alex. Next to him were Marty the zebra, Melman the giraffe, and Gloria the hippopotamus. Marty thought the lion cub was a troublemaker. Years passed, Alex grew up, like his neighbors. Became a real star. Marty joked again that he was really asking questions. They needed to relax and go somewhere. The news showed how well-known animals escaped from the zoo, and then they were sent to Africa on a ship, but over time it disappeared without a trace. All of America mourned the loss of their beloved animals. At that time, Marty, Alex, Gloria, and Melman were relaxing with the lemurs, who repaired the plane for them so that they could fly to Manhattan. They were also accompanied by the lemur king Julian and Maurice, who also wanted to go with them. From somewhere came Mort, who was literally obsessed with his king and longed to be close. Penguin skipper, Kowalski, Rico, and Private flew the plane. With the help of a large slingshot, they were able to give this push and take off by inertia. Mort still clung to the wing. Suddenly the plane ran out of fuel, the engine stopped and, according to the skippers, they made an emergency landing, but simply fell. Everyone began to talk to each other about what they could not say before. Only Gloria slept peacefully while Melman wanted to confess his love to her. Julian and Maurice dropped out altogether. In the end, the penguins were able to land the plane, despite the fact that the hull itself remained. They were going to fix the plane in 6 or 9 months, and the monkeys were ordered to find workers. Marty, Gloria, Melman, and Alex saw people in the SUV. And then the lion ran after him, and there was that woman who had come off at the station. He began to fight with her, but she, like last time, won. Alex took out the phone in her bag and tried to call the phone, but there was no connection. Then they saw a lawn where there were a bunch of other animals, like themselves. The animals came down and tried to make contact and said that they were from Central Park, not from the reserve. The lion leader Zuba came out of the crowd and began to say that they did not belong here. And the leader's wife looked at Alex carefully, and then stopped her husband and approached him, asking if he was Alakai. She noticed Zuba's birthmark, too. These were Alex's parents, and the son himself was incredibly happy, because he had a family. Makung was pleased with the arrival of the alpha lion's son and planned to use Alex to seize power. Julian and Maurice are back. Marty went to a pack of zebras and met them. Melman went to the giraffes, and they said that the sick go to the dying pit. They needed a doctor, and Melman volunteered to become one. And Gloria was talking to the other hippos about how New York has everything except parking spaces and hippos, and then Moto-Moto showed up and flirted with Gloria. At that time, Makung approached Zuba, asking when he would punish his son, since he had not undergone the ritual of passage and was not technically a member of the pack. At dawn, Alex had to undergo this ritual. Friends got together and decided that this was their place. At that time, the penguins came up with a plan to intercept the tourists. They distracted the people and stole the jeep from them, but there was that grandmother who was also thrown out. The woman was a scout and all the people followed her. Zuba and his wife showed him the place where Alex liked to sleep when he was little, and also gave him some fufa. Fufi is a blanket. People met other people whose jeep was also taken away. Grandma was incredibly skillful and lit a fire and told them to stay calm because they were New Yorkers and would survive anywhere. Lemur Mort swam ashore and began to look for King Julian. The penguins collected many jeeps to fix the plane. 2 monkeys who were on the plane came and brought with them more of their relatives who were supposed to help them. At that time, Alex was preparing for the rite of passage, with only his children next to him. Makunga came and gave advice to choose TG as his opponent. Repeated everything after the children. Zuba announced the start of the ceremony and gave Alex a chance to choose an opponent, and he listened to Makunga's advice, and Chiji was incredibly tall and twice his size. Alex took it all as a dance until the end, and in the end he lost the fight. Zuba had to punish his son according to the laws of the pack, but he could not do this and renounced his position as leader. Makung immediately took advantage of the situation and picked up a stick, and then punished Alex by putting on him a hat of shame, and then ordered him to leave the watering hole for 1,000 years or forever. Zuba said that his son is not really a lion. Melman was treating others at the time. He was told that he had a witch doctor's disease, and Marty put on a show with water and thought that his relatives would not succeed, but everything worked out the first time. Marty began to feel sad, because all zebras were the same. The construction process of the aircraft was in full swing, despite the fact that the monkeys were creating a pandemonium. Zebra was next to him, and then Marty came. They were the same, and Marty was upset because his friend Alex couldn't recognize him. The zebra left. Melman went into a dying pit while Maurice and Julian looked for a site for a palace. The lemurs talked to the giraffe and said that he should confess his love to Gloria, because he still had 2 days to live due to the witch doctor's disease, while Gloria was walking with Moto-Moto. And Melman came to them, and then ordered Moto-Moto to treat Gloria like a queen, and then said a bunch of information that he knew about the girl. And the hippopotamus, in turn, realized that Melman was much better than Moto-Moto. At that time, Alex was in exile. He heard someone screaming and ran towards the animals. It was the fish screaming, because the watering hole was completely dry. When others began to ask Makunga, who had become the new chief, what to do, he only indifferently replied that they should fight for water, and if they don't like it, then look for water outside the reserve. A commotion began. The animals did not know what to do. Alex said he was outside the reserve and would try to do something. He decided to walk along the river to understand what happened. Makunga suffered the violence of others who told him to let Zuba lead because he was better. Not knowing what to do and not lose power, the lion decided to consult Zuba. Alex came to the herd of zebras to find Marty and say goodbye, but he couldn't figure out where exactly his friend was, so he just apologized to the crowd, and then he finally recognized Marty because he was standing with his butt towards him. They made up and went together. Meanwhile, Julian, being the self-proclaimed king, was, as always, talking to some fool, and this time it was about the gods at the bottom of the volcano. According to him, in order for water to appear, you need to make a sacrifice into the volcano, and then Melman volunteered to be a voluntary victim. Gloria didn't understand why he did this, and then the giraffe confessed his feelings for the hippopotamus. Makung came to Zuba and said that Alex had gone beyond the fence. Alex and Marty found the dam and the people, led by their grandmother. The savages attacked and the lion fell into a trap, and Marty ran for help. At that time, other animals that climbed to the volcano were joyful, because perhaps the sacrifice would appease the gods. The other giraffes realized that there was no witch doctor's disease, which means Melman was not dying. Gloria tried to persuade the giraffe not to jump, and then the stones began to crumble, and it so happened that he fell, but the hippopotamus held him tightly. She asked him if all the words he said were serious. Eventually, Gloria pulled him out. Marty came running, begging for help. Together, the friends went to the penguins, but the monkeys went on strike and asked for maternity leave. They had dirt on Skipper, who was having an affair with a wooden doll. Maternity leave was agreed upon and construction of the plane continued. At that time, Alex was captured and they were going to make kebabs out of him. Zuba appeared to save him, but now they were both surrounded. Something had to be done, and Alex began to create what he could do best, that is, a show. It was a dance like he did at the zoo. People recognized Alex and stopped attacking him with weapons. And Zuba began to dance with his son. And then Marty and his friends arrived, saving him from his grandmother, who was carrying a weapon. Due to the fact that the monkeys incorrectly conveyed the order, they were going to destroy the dam. In the end, the dam was destroyed, and Julian and Mortis, who were on the volcano, threw a shark as a sacrifice and the water returned. But the king thought that he had returned the water with the help of a sacrifice. Alex and Zuba returned to the other animals. Everyone was happy. Makung only said that they were punished. Alakai, that is, Alex, made a gift to the new leader in the form of a woman's bag, and then that grandmother, who saw her bag, came out of the makeshift boat and attacked Makanda. Zuba regained his chief's staff. The skipper and his wooden doll got married. The plane was repaired and the penguins and monkeys flew away, but Gloria, Melman, Marty and Alex remained in the flock. Zuba and Alex found a common language. Leave a comment and write your favorite cartoons that you would like to see reviewed. Subscribe to the channel to find even more cartoons. See you later, friends.